Hey everybody, I wanted to show you a little thing about the books that I made for the Kickstarter campaign for my Looking Out a Picture Window album. And as you can see, we enjoyed these very much making them. It was a lot of work, but a lot of love was put into it. Most of a lot of this is the lyrics. The first bunch of pages are the 13 songs on the album. And like the first song here is I woke up one day and I had a little voice in my head say, "Wow, you're still breathing." I thought that was weird, so I picked up my pen and paper, got my Larrivee, and went out in the living room and looked out the picture window. Basically described everything in the picture window. Uh, the chorus of the song is, "It's a lovely morning, a great day to be alive. Trees are dancing in the wind. Lizards are making the cats cry. He's hoping for a glimpse of their Cheshire grins. It's a lovely morning in New Mexico. Birds are chirping and eating well. The sugar water is all ready to go. It's a wonderful place we dwell." We loved living in Taos. It was great. This picture of me and Susan. And the second song is Susan basically wrote. She realized that when we were living in Loveland, Colorado, that I had a great affection for this 300 or so flock of geese that flew over our house every day. And so she wrote this song. And there's a goose. This one's in Diggity Gad. This is a picture of me back in Taos at my little makeshift studio on a coffee table in the living room. Third song is called "Spilled a Little Blood." It's about my grandfather. That's my grandfather's infamous smirk that he used to have. Anyway, he worked 47 years in a steel mill, and he knew how to fix everything in the world with a pipe wrench. It's pretty amazing. He never learned how to read or write, but he was the wisest man I've ever known. Fourth song here is Susan's song, "Taos Mountain." She writes a lot of songs about, this is Taos Mountain, by the way. She writes a lot of songs about the Southwest, and I love putting them to music. Just to give you an idea of what her lyrics are like. She held him in a painter's light, full of promise, shiny bright. She knew of all the gifts he had, none quite touched her like the music had. She thought of him most at daybreak, when the sun shines through the aspen trees. As she's gazing back across the river, he's the empty space a shadow leaves. And then we moved into the fifth song on the album, this is my mother and father. This song is called "May Rose." It was about my mom, and actually the song turned out to be more about my dad than what did my mom. But they bonded when she came into town, and they had a good old time looking through my mom's photo albums. And at one point or another, she kind of disappeared. I went and found her in one of the bedrooms, sitting on my dad's rocking chair with 6 pieces of paper in her lap, and she basically wrote the words to this song. The chorus on this song is particularly memorable. "Arms embraced and overflowing, kind words he always spoke, love grows. Looking down on Chicago as it's snowing, still holds his true love, May Rose." The fifth song is my train song, sixth song, sorry. And I put a little picture of a train I've been on back in the old days at the Toltec and Cumbres Railroad in Colorado and New Mexico. And this was really just a fun song to write. I was trying to write a train song because I'd always been intimidated by the fact that I never was able to come close to the city of New Orleans. This doesn't come close, but it was worth every penny of it, every minute of it. This next song is called Quilt. This is the song about the quilt that my grandmother made for me when I was, of Kerrville t-shirts, basically. I lost it. I lost it because I don't know exactly what happened, but I think I left it on the roof of my van one year when I pulled out for Kerrville, and it's gone forever, and it looked like that. That was my quilt of t-shirts. Next song is the eighth cut. It's called Puff of Smoke. It's another one of Susan's songs, and again, it's a southwestern kind of feel for it. The chorus of this one is smoke on the prairie speaks of times long ago, drifting through the desert, there's wisdom in the stone. Sage, smoke, and fire ash, along with words we spoke. We bury all of our memories. They're gone in a puff of smoke. The next song is a song called Paths Not Taken. This is a song that came to me when I was at home at my mom's house, at our family house in Illinois over Thanksgiving a year or two ago. And it just kind of jumped out at me, and I wrote down everything I thought about. And basically the chorus to this song is, because paths not taken are paths lost. There's no reckoning the final cost. Who knows which choice will make it right for all the things we choose to do tonight. It's a fun song to sing. Next song is called In the Blink of an Eye. And while we were in Colorado, they had a shooting at Kroger in Boulder, killed 10 people. And Susan disappeared at one point or another and went in to her writer's area, and she came out with this song. Yeah. Not much I can say about that song. It's pretty depressing. Other than that, it's a really well-written song, and I love putting music to it. I see another dot I missed here. Let's fix that. Next song is called A Perfect Life. This is the song I wrote on a prompt from a friend of mine, and I decided to write a song about COVID. And hopefully this will be the last song that I ever write about COVID. Next song is It's a Mystery to Me. This is one of those love lost kind of songs. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. This one was in Hawaiian slack key tuning, C, G, D, G, C, D, with 3 capos on the guitar. And it came out pretty good. And then finally, the last song on here is the song I wrote to a prompt. The prompt that I got at the Southwest Folk Alliance that year was, the prompt was here today, still here tomorrow. And basically, I went crazy and wrote this song. And played it 2 days after I wrote it at the brunch. Kerrville is my favorite festival. These are all a bunch of pictures of other things that. This is the Jack Hardy Memorial Bridge down here. You can see there. I use that for Paths Not Taken, because it seems to be a path. I'm the king of Camp Nashville. That's my camp in Kerrville. And I've been in the same place for 25 years now. It'll be 26 years this year. And you can see from this picture here, we got a lot of song circles going on in the daytime. Humankind be both. That's my mantra most of the time. Again, a picture out the window. This is a posterized picture of me. There's another one of Taos Mountain. The next section is all volunteers pictures. This is Susan Gurvich and Paul Porter, core volunteers of Camp Nashville. Teresa Morris and Dee Langford. My old friend Linda and Tom, who had the house concert series in Wiley for many years. Tom's passed now, but he was the telescope guy. He brought the telescope on the back of his motorcycle every year. This is Melanie Schaffner, core volunteer. Charlie Williams, my favorite yodeler in the world. Judy Sawyer, who was from the late 90s into the 2000s, quite a bit of that time. She was part of our core staff. I am the king of Camp Nashville. This is John Stetson. He is from that Stetson family. And Roland Brown, who's been the last few years, has been a volunteer there. Tracy Merchant, who I believe this book is going to go to, I think. This is a transformer we had put in back in the 2008 time when I was having trouble with the heat because of my MS. I had to have an air conditioner, and we raised $3,200 on PayPal after Charlie Land said that'd be about $3,000. And now we have power at my camp. This is my tea light table. Tea lights on the table. And I do not like Mr. Bell. So I hung him. Now, all I heard when I was in high school is, "Oh no, Mr. Bell, shut up." The first chandelier I ever had at Camp Nashville was this one. I pilfered it from one of my stepdaughters who had thrown it out, basically. It does get a little messy at Kerrville. That's evidence. The rest of these pictures in this next section are pictures from Camp Nashville song circles. There's Steve Fisher, Michael Elwood, Stuart Michael Burns, good friend of theirs, who's passed now too. Todd Withers is one of those he's a cover man in my camp. He does not write his own songs. And eventually, Paul Porter became a guitarist. Amazingly enough, he's getting pretty good. This is a picture of Alan Gann, our local Dallas poet, and Keith Edward passed away last year. He was the guy that played guitars backwards, and he made guitars out of cigar boxes. Amazing man. Let's see. But you can see from these things, there's just a lot of gathering of people at Camp Nashville all day long and sometimes all night long. Here's an interesting story. This is Holly Jo Burleson and her dad right there. She was eating a banana one day, and a butterfly landed on the banana, and it stayed there for about 20 minutes while she was eating the banana, and it was pretty amazing. But this kind of stuff happens at Kerrville all the time. Next section is Balladry Song Sharing Circles. Balladry is a 3-hour song circle up on the top of Chapel Hill at the top of Kerrville, where you'll hear songs that you have absolutely never imagined. This is me hosting one of the balladries. I hosted about 10 or 11 of them. And then these are just people who played the balladry. Old friends, Bayless Larimore, local. So Murphy, Texas, anyway. Emily Pickerel was also one of our people that was there a lot. So she kind of became a core volunteer. This is the stage up at Chapel Hill. It looks like a Hobbit stage, so I called it the Hobbit stage. Rich Kruger, Chris Chandler, Daniel Bowling. All good friends. David Hendley. The next section is miscellaneous family pictures that I had just decided to put in. This is a long time ago, my mom and dad, and this is my grandparents, on my mother's side, when they got married. Grandpa Tony, who was mentioned earlier in the Spill a Little Blood song. And Grandma ended up with 3 kids of her own, 3 kids that lived. One passed away early in life. She had 14 grandkids. She had 69 total great-grandkids and grandkids. And then she also had 5 great-great-grandkids. Just amazing. There's my dad. My dad became quite a painter. I think this is my favorite of his. Grandma used to be a little deaf, as you can see up here, and we decided to cut out some little cups and put them on her ears. Didn't help much because she was against any kind of help. This is a picture of me a long, long time ago. And this one here is me and my mom back about 2002. Now the next pages are my kitty pages. Putsy was my cat that I named my record company after. She lived with me for 17 and a half years. Jasmine was an orange tabby Siamese mix. She never got bigger than 6 pounds. She lived with me for 15 and a half years. So the two of these cats lived with me about 33 consecutive years. I find that kind of an amazing thing. And this is more today. This is Willow Rose, my Maine Coon, and this is Maggie, my tuxedo. Willow would rather be on her back than do about anything in the world. She also takes rides on my scooter, on my walker. And now we have some miscellaneous leftover festival pictures. You can see they're basically just taken at my camp. Lots of old friends. At one point or another, I become paparazzi, and I caught Jamie Harris and Mary Gachet during song school at a table, and I flipped them. I also got this great picture of Rex Foster in his booth at Kerrville with Bill Hearn, reminiscing about things. Let's see, open. More balladry pictures. This is my office, I called it. There's audience pictures. Some pictures I put in there twice accidentally when I decided to give myself a break and not beat myself up over it. This is what balladry looks like. If you can take a closer look at that. That's where the stage is, and not very much shade up there. Very, very hot. This is another time of balladry. And some of these, there's some miscellaneous other pictures that I took at my camp. And most of these are night times, although there's a daytime one out there. These people all mean very much to me, and they're part of the 1,400 or 1,500 friends I have on Facebook that basically, if I had a need or if they had a need, we would do for each other whatever we could to make things right. This is my old friend Weird Harold, also a volunteer for many, many years, 25 or more. This is a picture of me singing on main stage at Kerrville with Jamie Michaels. And a couple other pictures I didn't put in. This is my mom and dad's wedding picture. These are my Travis picking fingers. These pictures are all done on paper that basically sticks on paper. Humankind, be both, please. Song circles. Thanks so much for listening and reading. This is my self-portrait, which is me on my tablet with my phone taking a picture. And then I realized as I finished this up that I had not put the liner notes on, so I forgot them, and I put them in for the rest of this book. And it's only a couple, 3 pages. And that's it. This is another one of the books that Kickstarter Reward became a Kickstarter Reward. And I've had a great deal of fun putting them together. And like I said, this one I believe I'm going to send to Tracy Merchant, because I think she's more of a green person anyway. Anyway, let me get this tied down. And that's it. This is the book. Thanks a lot.